Good morning, everyone. It is another fine day on the AT. I had an interesting sleep last night. There was a tramily at the shelter last night that apparently at 2 a.m. one of them could have sworn that they saw a bear. Started making all this racket and blew an air horn and woke up everybody, and suddenly everybody's yelling and whatever, trying to scare away a bear that, in my opinion, wasn't there. And I say that because there were two other backpackers there that are hiking with dogs, and neither dog made a ruckus. No growling, no barking, no nothing. So when it comes to whether or not there's a bear in the camp, I'm gonna trust the scent of a dog's nose over the sight of a person at 2 a.m. Anyway, didn't spoil the night, didn't spoil the sleep. I woke up, rolled over, fell back asleep, and that's a good day. We are on our way to Hanover. So excited. We're going to leave Vermont today and enter New Hampshire. It's going to be a 14.6 mile day. That makes it a Nero in my book. We're going to resupply while we're there, and then we're going to stay at Hanover Adventure Tours Hostel. They sound like they're an outdoor center, but they also have a hostel on the grounds. $35 for a bunk. Pretty cheap. Can't really beat that. And it sounds like they have some good amenities. Access to a full kitchen, so cook your own breakfast kind of thing. But the good news is they supply the ingredients, so that's a win. So yeah, 14.6 miles. It's going to be a good day. Thanks for joining me, everybody. This is an old growth pine forest. Very quiet. So the AT comes out into the town of West Hartford, Vermont. We're going to follow this road for about a mile or so to the center of town. The town used to offer a general store that served hikers, served as a good resupply. It's my understanding that West Hartford was hit pretty hard by Hurricane Irene back in 2011. And so that store is closed, and general understanding is there's not much by way of amenities for hikers to resupply or take advantage of in West Hartford. So right now we are about 600 feet in elevation in West Hartford, Vermont. And we're going to climb back up to an elevation of 1,600 feet over a distance of about 4 miles. And then from there, we'll be on a ridge for a little bit, and then we're going to make our way down into the valley where we will begin to leave Vermont and cross into Hanover. This is the White River. We're currently crossing the White River Bridge in West Hartford. We are in the final quarter mile of the last climb of Vermont. Feels good. I love this trail. So smooth. And done. We've completed the last climb in Vermont. All that is left now is about a 6-mile descent down the ridge into Norwich, Vermont, and then across the state line and into Hanover, New Hampshire. All in all, this trail today has been terrific. So now that we are beginning our last few miles remaining in Vermont, I kind of wanted to give my perspective and insight into the AT as it crosses Vermont. It really is kind of two different trails. The first part being the rocks, roots, and mud of, I'll call it Vermont until you get to Killington. From the time you enter Vermont on the AT from Massachusetts and until you're up and over Killington Mountain, it really is a lot of rocks, a lot of roots, and the infamous Vermud. But I'll be honest, the mud was not bad. It was easily crossed or bypassed either through bog bridges or stepping on rocks or roots or stepping along the side of it. Now, I say that with a certain amount of caution because I'm not sure if that is indicative of this time of year. There's a lot of factors that can play in: heat, rainfall, things like that. And so I use that with a bit of caution, but at least my experience when I went through, it was not that bad. The terrain was very steep. all throughout. And then once you crossed Killington, the town of Killington, and I would say north, the trail was very smooth. So a lot of the rocks and roots smoothed out. There was less and less mud, at least again for me. I'm not sure if that is typical or seasonal or what, but it was really kind of nice. Still maintained the steep grades, lots of steep climbs, lots of changes in elevation throughout. And I think that's a good thing. It's getting our legs ready for New Hampshire, which is going to be rugged and is going to be steep. And so I'm thankful for all of the changes in elevation. I will say Vermont is lacking in terms of views. Now, that is not to say it is not a pretty state. There are really only a handful of really terrific views in Vermont, and you either have to climb a Firewatch tower, such as on Glastonbury Mountain, to see those views, or you have to climb up the rocks on like Killington Mountain in order to see the view from the peak. But most of the views throughout Vermont are obscured, grown over, just because of the age of the forest, and you'll have that. But the Green Tunnel is really all throughout Vermont. So Vermont is a big walk in the woods, and I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the experience of being under the canopy of the Green Tunnel and hearing the birds and seeing the variety of wildlife, including my first bear encounter, if you want to call it an encounter, my first bear butt that I saw running away from me. So all in all, Vermont was a very enjoyable portion of the trail. That being said, I'm happy to leave it behind. I'm really looking forward to getting into New Hampshire later. We're on Elm Street. The AT exits onto it. From here we begin a road walk down to the town center of Norwich, and then onward into New Hampshire. We are crossing the Connecticut River. We are at the border crossing between Vermont and New Hampshire. Farewell, Vermont. We're a good state, but not ready for bigger things. And we are now in New Hampshire. What a great feeling. I have officially completed 12 of the 14 states that the Appalachian Trail runs through. All I have left is New Hampshire and Maine. It's a great day. So walking through downtown Hanover, it's a very hiker-friendly place. Bit upscale, home of Dartmouth College. But just had a good breakfast at Lou's, who also gives hikers a free pastry from the bakery. Now I'm headed to Ramonto's, which offers hikers a free slice of pizza. And then I'm gonna head to the grocery for resupply. Well, everyone, I had a successful day. It was a good last day in Vermont, and a good resupply in Hanover. Tonight I am at the Hanover Adventure Tours hostel. It is a hostel just outside the city that is very similar to other hostels. I'm actually wearing a loner hiker shirt while my laundry is being done. But suffice it to say, I have a 3-day resupply that will carry me into the beginning of my trek across New Hampshire. And I'm excited for this stretch. Everything that I've heard about New Hampshire is that it is going to be more difficult, it is going to be more rugged, but there will be many sights to see, and I'm sure adventures to experience, and I can't wait. That being said, I'm ready for tomorrow, and I look forward to sharing the start of New Hampshire with you. Thank you, everybody. I'm Brix.